It's a great legacy to have your family name on something as special as this. Just the idea that his name is at the top of the school is something we're all very proud of. And when you can be associated with something that is as first class as this is, I don't think any family could ask for anything more than that.
She would be ecstatic. She would, first of all, she loved everything about the whole concept of the Meyer Academy and the building. I mean, how can you walk in here and not just smile from ear to ear? She would feel proud, she would feel honored, she'd be so thrilled that it carries on my father's name.
Well, my father was a very highly educated individual. He graduated college at the time he was 19 years old, and then he became a lawyer. He graduated law school by the time he was 20. He also got his accounting degree, and then at 21 he went back to engineering school and became a mechanical engineer. So he had 3 degrees, a law degree, an accounting degree, and a mechanical engineering degree. So education was very important to him. So it was not surprising that when the decision was made to leave the Jewish Community Day School, which was on Parker Avenue, and moved to Military Trail, it was not surprising that he wanted to make the lead gift to foster Jewish education among young people. And then our family wanted to continue that legacy by making the lead gift with respect to moving to the campus here on Hood Road.
But I see the Meyer Academy as being synonymous with who Arthur Meyer was as a person. The Meyer Academy, after it got that name, really began to develop a tremendously wonderful reputation countywide, not just in this part of the county. And it was known for its excellence. And my father's reputation for his brilliance and his excellence, well, to me, you just continue the tradition. They became synonymous with each other, so how could it be any other name than the Meyer Academy?
Both of our kids went to the Jewish Day School and to Meyer Academy. And after the first year of their attendance here, we decided that we wanted to be more involved in the school. And my wife, Denise, not only did she serve as head of the PTO, but she was responsible for many fundraisers that the school held. She computerized the library at the former JCDS. She also did the interior design of Meyer Academy when it was on Military Trail. And she was part of the committee that actually designed, with the architect, the building that we're sitting in today. So each of us have played a pretty significant role, not just monetarily, but also in the actual operations and development of the school. I think that the thing that stands out in our mind is the fact that we and my wife had the ability to start with a clean sheet of paper. So she and a number of other people traveled around the country to get the best ideas that could go into designing the school. So it would be a school not just for 2015 and 2016, but a school that for decades could serve all of the students well. So some of the things that are in this school that you don't see in other buildings, that we had the ability to put in the school, the teacher conference areas, the storage areas, the things that are usually cut when you go over budget. In this particular case, the student lounge areas, the hallways and how they're designed. Those are all things that are unique among elementary school buildings, and I think make Meyer a very unusual experience for everyone that goes here.
I remember the old school, I remember the school. Unfortunately, you guys never got to meet my father. He was a pretty remarkable man. And, you know, he lived to 92, it's pretty good. Yeah. I'm gonna live to 102. Okay, I'm going on record.
Kindergarten to 8th grade is the foundation for high school and then college, maybe graduate school. Your learning is gonna go on for the rest of your life. And just think of it in the sense that it doesn't stop here. It's a rung on a ladder of a continuing educational process that you'll go through for years and years and years. This is just the beginning.
my children were growing up in Wichita, Kansas, we didn't have enough of a Jewish population to have even consider a day school. My oldest daughter lives in Houston, and her 3 children all went to the Modern Orthodox Jewish Academy located in Houston. I had always believed in the idea of Jewish day schools because as I grew older, I understood that a big plus in Jewish life was the better educated Jewish child. I was responsive to their request for my contribution, and I did come forth with the necessary monies to make this move, and in return, they named the school for me. Even though I personally did not receive much of a decent Jewish education, my family did always contribute to yeshivas at levels of learning at high school and after high school, and then contributed to the building of several, not only a day school, but again a couple of both a boys and a girls school in Denver, where my brother Shalom lived and was very active. So day schools were nothing new to me. I knew a lot of people in New York because my middle daughter did live in New York, and who had sent their children to Ramaz. So all of these things came together in terms of my appreciation of day schools, and then my becoming more involved as a consequence of the Barron Day School in Houston. First, the mission is an integrated Jewish and college preparatory educational institution in an atmosphere of excellence. 2, a commitment to Torah and its ethical and moral precepts, and a commitment to the Jewish people. 3rd, development of a spiritual bond with the land and the state of Israel. And finally, a dedication to our American heritage and achievement in contemporary society. And if the school does accomplish those 4 parts of a mission, then it's going to be a good school, and a school that all parents who have any kind of a Jewish feeling should think about and send their children to that kind of school.
My name's Emily. Emily Danae, would you like to look what I'm doing?
I certainly would. My name is Claire, and I'm so happy to be here. What is your name?
My name is Deanna.
Deanna? That's a very pretty name. My husband went to University of Pennsylvania. He was in the Navy at the time. It was World War II. And he was in the V-12 program where they were learning to be officers. And they graduated with an engineering degree. But he was a very good student, and they allowed him to take the Wharton School courses at the same time, so he graduated with a Wharton degree. And he was very entrepreneurial, as all Wharton School students are. He and his brother, who was also a Penn student, they liked to invest in new businesses and help people who had new businesses and weren't doing too well. That was part of their fun. That was their way of, my husband used to say, because we lived in Atlantic City, and people used to think, did we gamble? He said he's a professional gambler. He couldn't be bothered with the casinos. one of the things that he was most concerned about was Jewish education. And he always wanted to support that. Education in general, but Jewish education particularly. We were friendly with Barbara Steinberg through the synagogue. And at that time, they wanted to build a high school. She took us on a tour of the school, and he was so impressed with the kindergarten kids speaking Hebrew, he just fell in love with the whole idea. And we were committed to it, but that faded away. But then when Nami came to town, and he told me about what you were going to do here, Mel was gone by then. But we followed through on it. I love that picture. Yeah.
These tables are for the elementary school children, and then our middle school arts use those tables. They're actually the next sort of, they work on more fine motor skills, whereas these are more gross motor skills. Yeah. So just to be able to develop.
Well, I was married for 65 years. I lost my husband 2 years ago, but he left me with all kinds of good things to do in his memory, and this is one of the most important things. He would certainly be gratified to see that, to know that he had been a part of it, of building this building.
No,
So can you
I've been to
believe
the
this
other
school?
building.
How gorgeous! And
Well,
you haven't been here yet, have you?
Hello, hi.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Strauss.
Thank you, it's a pleasure to meet you too. This is really exciting. Beautiful. Long way from where I came from.
If you've ever wondered why we spend so much time in school.
I lived in a very small town with a very small Jewish community. Probably no more than 35 or 40 families. But we were close-knit. But we had a very small synagogue, very small. And so I didn't get a really great Jewish education from schools, but I did from my home, from my parents. I was born in 1928. And in 29, America went into depression. I worked from a very small boy. I delivered newspapers. I did different jobs. I picked berries and sold them house to house. I did a lot of things. We were poor. I'm not ashamed of it. And in living in small towns, I will say this, that we did run into some problems. And that was anti-Semitism. And I felt it. I remember coming home from school one day and, I don't know, something was said in not a nice manner about me as we were walking out of school. And I started a fight with him. And we had a very bad fight because he said I was a dirty Jew, and I didn't like it. And I stood up. I felt I was not only standing up for myself, but for the rest of the Jewish people.
Most of the world does know in this community that my dad is extremely kind and giving and caring. He has given a lot of time and a lot of financial support to many organizations. And I think that he's taught everyone in his family how to give.
My grandchildren all went to school, and I was able to reach a point in my life that I could afford to donate it, and it was very important to me. That's part of our history. We want to educate our children in Judaism. Otherwise, you lose them.